Okay, so let's do some code tracing. Okay. So why we shouldn't use a global variable? So global variable is in a sense that's very, very convenient. I love to use it. Okay. So why I love it is because I have more than not more than close to 17 years of experience in writing C. Okay. So global variable is my best friend. Okay, because we understand each other very well. Okay. But here is your first time to use it, or maybe not the first time when you have a 3 or 4 years of experience in writing code, okay? But it is not very easy or to, when you use it, you have to be very clever. So in a sense that this guy, okay, will update based on your function call sequence, okay? Let's take a look at this program. I hate this, okay? I hate to trace some non-useful functions, okay, and also non-useful programs. So this is a program without any purpose, okay, just to show you how bad if you are using global variable and without a very good use. Now let's trace the variable called universe. Okay, so what is the tracing? Start. When you trace this kind of code, basically how to read it. Okay, this is the first 1 of 2. This is the second piece, 2 of 2. Okay, so let's look at 1 of 1. 1 of 2, I mean. 1 of 2 is there is a global variable declared, okay, with the starting value -9. Okay, so I say that this is the timeline. Okay, so this is start. Okay, with initialization value -9, and then we have 2 functions declaration. Okay, don't need to care because you don't call it, then it won't be useful, right? So the third functions also we don't need to care about this. Now how about here? Wow, we start the code tracing because we have main now. Okay, so let's go. So this is start. So when I have main, before I call any functions, okay, inside the main, what is the universe value? The global variable. Yeah, don't look at the m is useless. Okay, when you see this is updated, it's never get used. Okay, so what's the value? 10, right? So there's an update in 10. Then now it's go through the first call. Go through the first call FCN. FCN, where is that? Here. Okay, will the global variable be an update? Will it? Yes or no? Yes, so how? From 10 to 30. Okay, yeah, this pen sucks. What happened to me, huh? Okay, so 30. Better, this pen better. Okay, then what? Then the functions end, okay, and the f is useless. Okay, so we don't need to take care of the f. And then function 2. Now function 2 is horrible. How horrible it is. Yeah? It call function, another function, FCN. Okay? So that means that when you call FCN2, okay, although inside FCN it will already update once. So what is the update? Do you understand this statement? This statement is a shorthand. It means universe equal universe minus 40. Okay? So this shorthand is shorter. So that means universe decrement by 40 is first go to -10, and then because you call function again, then it's time 3 minus 30. Okay? Is it the end? It is the end. Okay, just using the G, store the G. Okay, so it doesn't make any useful things here. So then we'll go to function 3. Function 3 is a horrible because function 2 call both function and function 2. I don't want to trace anymore. Okay, so basically it's a better run it once. Okay, then you'll know the answer, and it means that global variable is everywhere of the code you can update it. And it totally depends on how you call the functions. So better avoid using this unless you know what you are going to do. Okay, so well, although global variable is my best friend, okay, in an operating system, I always say that use global variable, don't use local variable. Yeah, I always say that, but for year 1 students, okay, keep using local, avoid global. Okay, when you go to my OS course, I will talk about another thing. Okay, yeah, because operating system, okay. So global variable is a very powerful tool. Okay, I love to use it. I use it very well. Okay, but how about you? I think that you still need some practice. So first, you understand that there exists global variable, and try to write programs with and without this to contrast whether it's easy to use or not. Okay, so we will have practices inside the self-test. I mean, the sample examination questions. Okay, then remember the local variable is not. No, why is that? The local variable is no longer easy to use because if we have a, I don't know why you set up a scope, okay? Whether the scope is because of if then else, because of while loop, because of for loop, you open a curly braces, then you can have a chance to initialize new variable inside the scope. Now that means that local variable is no longer easy to trace if you know about this. So if that's the case, if this is your first time to write program, I will recommend you to do this. Okay. Yeah, this is a very old rule. Okay, the old rule only fits old compiler. You can only initialize variable here, the first line of its function. I mean, the first few lines of each functions. Okay. So let's say I have another function, ha ha ha. Okay. Boy, it's also follow the same practice, okay? Very old compiler, okay, is a form of protection, okay? After say you call printf, printf hello, okay? Let's say I'll create a XYZ here and try to use it. Line 6, okay, in very old compiler, I used it before, okay, will generate errors telling you that you cannot proceed. You love this, okay, but you cannot access it, okay. Those very old compiler is the CS department, okay. Then you can I mean, it's a form of protection that tell you that inside anywhere of the program, please move all your initialization or declaration of the variables, especially locals, at the start of a function or start of a scope. Okay, remember this. This is a bad. The highlights line is a bad code. Bad in the sense that you can still use it. Okay, so global variable, I love it, but you try to avoid it. And tell us 2 more extra things. Okay, I don't know why the one who created the slides talk about this. The automatic is useless. Okay, so our 2 storage classes. One is called static. Static is useful, very useful. Okay, automatic is useless, extremely useless. Okay, yeah, useless than useless. Yeah, really, more useless than useless. So what is the meaning of auto? First of all, except reading books, I never find any codes have auto. Okay, I teach operating system. I look at operating system core codes. No one uses auto. Okay, except books. Okay, except the manual of C. C as a manual actually. Okay, so what is the auto? Auto means that you declare a thing there, okay, a variable there, and when it created, it means that when you create this, it will give you some random values, and automatically put some auto value in there, and that's all. Okay, yeah, you love this sentence. It means the auto value. Okay, so what is the meaning? It will allocate the variable. Okay, as usual, we know that when we're executing that variable, we allocate it, but its value, okay, will be created automatically also. Its value is automatic. Okay, so don't think that okay, if I declare variable, it will give me 0. Okay, because by default, okay, here is by default, every variables inside the functions is by default has an auto there. So that means that the auto, although we do not write it down, inside the function, it is there. it is there, the auto. Okay? So that means that it will give you some auto value. Now this is a very important thing. That means that you cannot have any default value. You have to initialize it like here. Here. Okay. So you know main is also a function. Main is also a function. So let's contrast this auto or non-auto things using two variables. 10, I initialize x is 10. Y, I didn't initialize it. Print it out. X and Y. Okay. Since it is automatically by default has a keyword auto here, so I don't need to write auto here. So what will happen if I run the program? Make test. Oh, it's already telling me that something wrong. Okay, and also the wrong thing is about Y's values. Okay, and it's also telling you that initialize it to 0. Now what will happen? Seems that note is really a note, right? The note is to tell you, hey, please initialize it to 0. It doesn't mean that it automatically declares a variable and gives you 0. Okay? Although the note is there, but many people will ignore it, then you will have this value. Now try it again. Wow. See? I love this number. This number look beautiful. Huh? Okay, one more. Okay, so it seems that it's very auto, very random. Okay? Now remember, I don't know whether you will fall into this trap or not. It depends on whether you will use the variable, or let's say it is the variable I for the for loop. Then you don't need to initialize it because you will, when you enter the for loop, you will initialize it. Okay, so this is auto. Auto is very useless. Okay, static is very useful. Okay, static. What is the meaning of static? Static means that in a simple phrase, when you create that piece of memory, that memory will be inside the program forever until you kill the program, until you stop the program. Okay, I repeat. When you create that variable, and the variable has a static there. So how to have a static there? Like this. Okay? Like this. Before the type, you write down static. Then what is the meaning? That means that there will only be one piece of that variable, and once it's created, it will be forever. Okay? Forever in the sense that you start the program until the end of the program. Okay? So how to understand this phrase? This phrase seems to be so powerful. Wow, forever. So what is the meaning of forever? These functions tell you exactly what is the meaning of forever. I write down 2 lines of code here, although this seems to be an illusion, okay? Yeah, there's nothing here, okay, just to align it in. So there's a separate rows, okay, they are separate, okay, separate declaration of variables. One with static, one is without, okay? So I will redo the same thing here, okay? I will do the same thing here. Let's say I will have a functions here. Input, give me an input, okay? Then I will also declare a static variable called counter, okay? Remember, if you have a static variable, you need to initialize it, okay? So what is the meaning of this counter? I create this in order to count how many times people call this function. Okay, how many times do you call this function? And I will say haha is called for the %d minus th. So just been 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Okay. Okay. Print the counter, and then counter plus plus. Okay. Counter plus plus means it increases by 1. So also print out the input value. Input value. Now I also do the same thing for input value. Okay. So let's see what will happen if I call the function. Now let's say I use a loop to call a function. Call it for 5 times. 5 times. Okay, haha, yeah. Haha, and input I. Okay. So what will you expect? You expect that the I fit into the function haha, then haha will receive the input as I value. So you receive 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And what we have learned in previous lecture that if it is a variable passed in to the functions, although you modify the value, of the function parameter, it won't affect the outside world. So basically, you won't change I from 0 suddenly to 1, to 2, to 3. It will obey this loop. So you will see still 5 times. But how about a static counter, static variable counter? So let's see it. Yeah. Oh, what happened? A pow. Make. Oops. Oh, yeah. It's very wrong. Counter. Okay. Run. Can you see the counter keep updating? The counter is 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And how about the input? Input, when you pass in 0, although you modified it, it doesn't affect the outside world because it is just like a local variable inside the function scope. So after the function scope is leave, the value will be destroyed. Okay? But how about this counter? I said that the counter value with a static means that it will be created and will be there forever. It won't be destroyed. It won't be destroyed until you kill the program. Now, how to understand this initialization value, 0? It only initializes once. Okay? It doesn't mean that, oh, if you follow this haha, okay, every time you say the counter is 0. Okay, so why you keep printing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay, this initialization only takes once. Okay? So I will say initialization, okay, equal to 0 once only, right? Only one time. Okay, and then I keep on printing, then this, because this guy exists forever, okay, you will be able to keep updating it, but because of another control is about the scoping, the counter can only be seen within the function. You cannot put that counter, okay, outside and say that, okay, because it's forever, then I want to access it in the main. Okay, it won't be allowed. Let's see. Okay, print counter equal to counter. Okay, so I said it's forever, but it's still controlled by the scoping. Okay, the scoping, we can disobey the lifetime of the scoping because the lifetime for the counter now become forever, but still the naming, okay, about the scoping will still be there. Okay, no one can access counter outside. Okay, so why I said it's very important thing to know that it's a static variable, because static variable can allow you to say count how many times people have called your functions. This number one use. Second use is maybe you want to accumulate something in a function. Okay, say I call it once, I call it twice, I call it third time. It will accumulating some different values. Okay, as if you are using global variable, right? Because global variable also say I create a counter global variable in line 2. Okay, global. Let's say I move the static up into a global. Their status now is the same. Okay, because global variable once you create it is never die until you kill the program. Okay, you stop the program. Okay, so as if it is a global about the lifetime, but about the scoping, it still follow the function scoping. Okay, so this is a static variable. Very, very important thing. Okay, I sometimes I will use it. Okay, so this is about this set of slides. Okay, any problem you want to ask? Any problem you want to ask? Anything you want me to try? No? Okay, good.